So do you take into account the fact that on average a male full-time employee works longer hours than a female full-time employee?
Not directly, no.
You don't?
This is what happens when you manipulate the numbers specifically to tell a story that you want to tell instead of telling the truth.
Some say there isn't really a gender pay gap. Well, that is just wrong.
You change the numbers around specifically because if people knew that women are getting paid the same by hour, but working less hours, then they would realize they're being manipulated by liars trying to tell a story they want to tell.
But we annualise the part-time hours and those that have worked full-time but for part of the year. So that way, because at the moment, what I can tell you is women work part-time at 3 times the rate of men. So by annualising it, we are looking at a more realistic...
So you base it on annual salary?
Yeah.
Ultimately, what you're really saying is that you want to take a part-time employee and pay them a full-time employee's wage. And since we're not willing to do that, that's what creates the false narrative of the gender pay gap.
I'm interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
You want women who work 3 times the rate of part-time. That means they still don't even work full-time. You want them to get paid the same as a full-time employee when they don't work full-time. This is a complete manipulation and done on purpose for political reasons to promote the idea of inequality, when the truth is the real inequality is in the lack of effort put out.
What about if you did it on an hourly rate? What would be the gender hourly pay gap?
Well, we don't have that data, Senator.
You don't have that data?
No, because we ask for annualised salaries from our employers when they report their data in.
Okay, so if a woman was working fewer hours but earning the same rate per hour as a man doing the same job, would that show up as a gender pay gap?
No.
Look at what happens when you ask the right questions so that you can get the truth. She's forced to admit the fact that it's all based off of numbers they're choosing to show everybody instead of the legitimate numbers. She just admitted that there's no actual gender pay gap, but that it's all created by the number manipulation that they do. So you specifically don't ask for the facts, but ask for manipulated and limited information so that you can create a false narrative to manipulate people to believe that something's happening that isn't happening. This is what people have been trying to say for a long time, that if you look at the legitimate facts behind the gender pay gap, you'll realize it's because women don't work as many hours.
But, well, then in that case, you are looking at hourly rates.
Jenny Imbudu, Research and Analytics Executive Manager. So we do not collect the real hours that an employee might have worked. So what we do collect is the hours that are specified in a contract, and that is provided by organisations to us. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. We just broke it down. And instead of you admitting that you don't understand what your numbers are really telling us, you say words, and then ask us if we're stupid and if we can't understand it. The bigger question should be, are you stupid or are you purposefully manipulating the situation?
Why is it you don't look at hours worked? You don't collect it, but the ABS does. It's available.
Just because somebody might be sitting at their desk for 12 hours a day doesn't mean you're getting 12 hours of productivity out of them, and doesn't mean that they're working in essence any harder than someone that may sit at their desk for 8 hours.
That is one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard. If you don't think that an employee who works 12 hours a day deserves more than an employee who works 8 hours a day, then you shouldn't be involved in this conversation. Somebody who works 20 hours a week does not deserve to get paid what somebody who works 40 hours a week deserves.
What about bricklayers? They're 99% male, and we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside.
It's easy to demand high-level positions, but we do not see women demanding equal positions within hard labor jobs. They just want cushy jobs with equal pay of men who are doing the hard work.
And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis.
Thanks for watching, but before you go, hit that like and subscribe button, comment and share. Follow us on Telegram, on Rumble, and on X.
Check you later.